r/AskReddit, what kink, s, do you have that you are afraid to tell your partner about? He might think it's hot AF. I know I did when I found out my GF, now ex, like that. It always made me smiley and horny. Might be worth trying. I want to try role-playing, but she said before she thinks it's weird. She didn't know I wanted to try it, she just said it about a video we watched together. My GF has the schoolgirl fantasy, but I tell you what, I feel uncomfortable wearing the dress. My partner is a sadistic dominant woman. I tell her everything. I need to find a sadistic dominant woman. Where did you find her? I run marathons and am super attracted to women that smoke. Could never tell her I want her to start smoking, lol, it's just so bad. I like it as a vanity portrait kinda thing, like seeing a glamour woman smoking, but that's pretty much it. Could you phrase it as a roleplay thing and lean into the glamour woman smoking and use fake cigs? For ages I was afraid to ask my wife about going at it on her motorbike. Turns out she had the same kink, so it worked out great in the end. I've seen some Insta reels like this, not exactly, and they're on the bloody road driving. Like, what if they crash while driving it? I am happy telling her all my kinks, I just hold back on to the degree to which I enjoy them. I am just dropping a sly remark like, I have heard that studies show that people who dress like their Sonic OC during sex are shown to be much more satisfied in their sex lives. Little does she know that I conducted the study and it was not even peer-reviewed. For some reason I like strong women. I love women who scare me. Muscle mommies or femdoms. Death by snoo type strong. Free use. She wouldn't be up for that at all. Yeah, that or time stop, but it is kind of the same, but one has more dialogue. But it requires a lot of patience in a partner. Is gentle femdom a kink? Oh yeah. I used to be one. I think it's quite cute, personally. I told her some and got shamed for them. I was told that they were gross. We have been married for almost 10 years. It was hard to hear. What was the kink? I feel that part is important. Not peer-reviewed. You sick fuck. And what kinks are you into, if you don't mind me asking? Had a pretty similar situation, unfortunately. It sucks. I feel bad for people in relationships like that, no offense. You better not be hitting us with the POO fetish. Binding/blindfolding/feed/gangbang. All together? I want to have sexy time on a more regular basis. Crazy stuff. I told my girlfriend my kink after she assured me she wouldn't judge me for it. She judged me for it, so I never brought it up again. 4 years later she said, out of the blue, that she still thinks about how could that be one of my kinks and she still judges me for it. Be careful out there. Damn, what was it? I'd be so pissed if a partner of mine did that to me, but also I'm curious what the kink could possibly be. I'm really into goth girls, but I don't know how to be goth myself to reciprocate. A scheme more befitting of Dr. Robotnik than Sonic, if you ask me. The aggressive/primal ones. You're going to get a lot of thirsty 12-year-olds with that profile picture who don't know it's AI generated and want you. Eating pizza and taking a nap. She'll want some of the pizza and will probably hog the blanket. Y'all ain't got 2 blankets? Most glaring one is nonkin. I would probably never tell my partner that shit. This is mine, and I told my husband, but I'm a woman. Maybe the situation is more fraught if you're a man. Luckily it's his too. My only rule is don't grope me when I'm sleeping because my waking mind is into it, but my tired mind will get legitimately pissed off. I have taken sleeping meds and told him to do what he wanted to me as I passed out though. That's fun. Rough ones, I can't tell her because she'll feel bad and want to do them, but they'll trigger her because she was RD. I won't force it on her. My GF had a traumatic experience with sexual assault and I refuse to tell her anything to do with an act that might trigger her because I know she would want to try for my sake. Is losing my virginity a kink? You sick freak. I'll review. I'd say there for sure are enough people jerking off to losing virginity, like in how they wish they lost it. Chastity play, I want my wife to lock me up and have full control of my erections and ejaculations. Cross-dressing, like I just get turned on by it, but I've realized it's more the sexy feeling than like wanting to screw other guys. I was told I'm a predator for liking mutual free use. So yeah, not sharing that kink again. Like free use on your own within your own home. There's nothing wrong with that, just need a safe word. My ex found a pair of sexy women's lingerie in my closet. She was more upset I bought them for myself rather than finding out I was having an affair. Yikes. Sorry to hear that. Pegging. I find the power exchange very erotic in that scenario. I love pics of women wearing strap-ons. Giving or receiving. Being used. I want her to hold me down and ride me. Use me. Depending where you or your local BDSM club has tastings. You will need to go through some consent training before being allowed in, since consent is king/queen in the BDSM community. But it can be a very safe space to see what kinks exist and have third-party people able to talk about it. Can help start conversations. How would one go about locating a local BDSM club? Like, are there common sites? Find local BDSM members in your area. I don't expect it to be readily advertised, but I have no idea where I would even look. She's opposed to anything foot related and I just so happen to be one of those weirdos. So opposed to it, that it would actually cause issues in a relationship. How important is it to you? Sorry to hear that, especially because to me it seems pretty tame to what other kinks there are. My GF would be devastated if I told her I'm turned on by women who actually exist. Character AI reference. Threesome, specifically 2 guys on me. I never was into it before, but suddenly I am. Not sure where it's coming from. I got my GF into that. She loves it. It's best to have guys that are bi or hetero-flexible so they aren't weird about another guy there or accidental contact. I'd be scared to mention my kinks that are related to femdom, if I'm being honest. Yes. Girls, take note. Guys always get defaulted into the dominant role, having to put in most of the effort in seduction, creativity, choreography. Sometimes we want to be the ragdoll fucktoy. So a few years ago my wife randomly ate my ass out and we both loved the experience. I asked her a few days later if I could and she said, you know, that's where poop comes from. I don't talk to her about kinks as much lately. I can't really blame her on that one. I find my own bodily secretions more gross than my wife's. Neither of us are gonna tongue punch a fart box anyways, but I understand the general idea. Nice try, spouse. At this point, none. She'll indulge me in most of the weird shit I ask for. The woman's a saint. I remember being in relationships with only vanilla sex and constantly wondering how I could introduce a little kink. I didn't realize how sexually dissatisfied I was. Now, if I want her to tie me to the bed and sit on my face, I just ask for it. So I was afraid, but I've told me BF, him having his way with me. Throw me around, pin me down, use me how you please. Pull my hair, fuck my face, call me names. If I complain? Too bad for me, I get called a whore and get used even harder. I was afraid of telling him, but joke's on me, he's into that shit. I'd love to see him fuck another girl, but I'm scared he would not want me after that. She knows the depths of my depravity. Daddy kink and CNC. I just kind of want to be thrown around and dominated, but also be called a good girl. I'm too embarrassed to admit it, lol. I want to wear this was a kink. It was just like 1/3 of the time I had sex with my partner. Being pat on the head and called a good girl. I'm afraid he'll think it's weird.